And now I'd like to invite Eli Green to do the English pledge from Ancaster, and from the River Cats, Colton Gardner to do the French pledge, and Megan Adams to do the parent pledge. Nice and loud.
I trust in God, I love my country, and I will respect its laws. I will play fair and strive to win, but win or lose, I will always do my best.
Good job. Good job.
Je crois en Dieu, j'aime mon pays et je respecterai toutes les lois. Je jouerai honnêtement et j'essaierai de gagner, mais si je gagne ou non, je ferai toujours de mon mieux.
Good job, Cole.
I will teach all children to play fair and to do their best. I will positively support all managers, coaches, and players. I will respect the decisions of the umpires. I will praise a good effort despite the outcome of the game.
Thank you, Megan. Let's play ball.
Andrew, for 1 point. Look at this back. Good. Good to see you again. Well, good. Thank you. Just need to put on the shirt, Mike. This is the first one. Yeah. Give me So the guy who Oakland played in Alaska at the same time? Yep. The guy Home team, take the field. Hey guys, know your position. Let's go. Hustle it. How we doing, Ben?
We welcome you here to Brockville, Ontario. It's day 2 of the 2025 Minor Provincial Little League Ontario Championship, and we're underway in game number 1. It's the Ancaster DBacks and the Upper Ottawa Valley River Cats. in the leadoff game. That one popped up to center field and will get just under through the glove of the center fielder for Weston Heaney. And so a leadoff base hit here for the D-backs and a runner on. But as I was saying, my name is Jacob Ewing. Two teams that played yesterday and are both in the win column. The Ancaster DBacks won an 8-5 game in the the first game of yesterday against East Nepean, and the River Cats won a nail-biter against the Timmins Lynx, 9-8 final score. A game that lasted 2.5 hours is our longest game of the day. And while the River Cats they walked it off in the bottom of the 7th inning. And here's Hall at the bat, goes swinging for that one. Heaney going to go down to second to throw the tag, not there in time. Heaney with a successful steal moves himself into a scoring position. And so Hall's job becomes a tad bit easier now with a runner in at second. And a hold off and see that one on the outside. It's the pitch. A similar location up high and outside for another ball. So first pitch here at 9 a.m. for game one. We'll have 4 games today, including this one. As we keep on rolling through group play. This is day 2 of the round robin. That one pulled up the first baseline, and a nice play by the first baseman to get in front of it, and there's one down. The runner will be able to advance to third. So a base hit away from the D-backs getting on the board here. First pitch swinging, and that's drove right up to right field and will score a run for the D-backs. Runner going to go around second now after it's bobbled by the right fielder, and he'll get all the way to third. So gets himself a base hit and an RBI as the Ancaster DBacks open the scoring here in the top of the first inning, and it's 1-0. And here's Finley Ross, double zeros, and a chance here to drive in another run after last runner was able to get around all bases to third base. First pitch to Ross. He'll be inside to the head level for a ball. So the D-backs trying to establish a lead here early in this game. They did so yesterday as well against East Nepean, 2 very strong teams in yesterday's matchup. I've heard coming into this tournament, 2 of the potential favorites to go on. Here's the 2-0, and Ross takes a slice at that one for strike 1. So 2-1 count here after the River Cats starting pitcher here this morning tries to battle his way back into this inning. Only one out so far. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And that's strike 2, the call. And we'll split the first 4 pitches, 2-2. And now Finley Ross has got to protect and stay alive. It's the 2-2 pitch. Ross up the middle, and that's through the shortstop's glove to center field. Around comes runner, and it's an RBI single for Finley Ross, and the D-backs have themselves a 2-0 lead. There's Eli Green to the plate. Runner at first after Ross was able to find himself a single. And first pitch here to Green. Go swinging underneath it, pops it to right field. Moving in, and that will get down. And shallow right. And sliding in there is Finley Ross for a successful base hit there. After Ross probably could have gone to third if he started his run earlier, but had to be aware then what could potentially have to tag up. But the catch and the ball did get down, and we'll have 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position now at second as the D-backs continue to roll through their batting order. First pitch swinging again, and that one's pulled right up the gap between first and second to right field. Runner's going to get waved around third. Here comes Ross. He'll score, play to third, not there in time. And it's an RBI single for the D-backs and a 3-0 lead, as they've continued now to put on the offense and now have 2 runners in scoring position. And the 5-run limit rule could come into play here, with that run being accounted for now at second base. And he swing high up and inside 0-1, took a chance at it, pitched inside by the hands for strike 1. So we'll have an 0-1 count to start this one off. Now the River Cats down by 3 here early on. Got to find a way to get out of this inning as they try to leave 2 runners stranded. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This one pulled up to third base, bounces off his glove and moves to the outfield. Run will come around, and another run will score for the D-backs. It's 4-0. After that ball just took a skip past the third baseman's glove and wasn't able to make the play. And so they'll have runners in the corners in the 5-run limit rule per inning now at third base. This pitch up high, runner will go to second. They'll throw it to the second baseman. Smart play here by the River Cats infield. Got to be careful there. Obviously, always with runners in the corners, the runner at first will, majority of the time, trying to go to second and trying to force the throw down there, as runner at third could have an opening to come home. He'll get the outside for a strike. A 1-1 count after the first 2 pitches. So we had 4 games yesterday here in Brockville for the opening day of the minor provincials. All very good games. Couple of mercy rolls. We had a nail biter between this River Cats team. That's a play right to the mound. Get the out at first, play at the plate. Not there in time. And the D-backs make it 5-0. And that will do it for the top of the first inning. So the Ancaster DBacks showcasing the talent they bring to this tournament, and they put out 5 runs in the top of the first inning on 5 hits and have themselves a pretty comfortable lead. When we return, it's the Upper Valley Ottawa River Cats taking to the bats for the first time this ball game, looking to get their offense going, now down by 5. We'll join you back here for the bottom of the first inning between Ancaster and Upper Ottawa Valley. The D-backs put up 5 runs in the top of the inning, really got this ball game going from the 5-run mercy rule. Leading things off for the River Cats, number 6, Graham Kelly. Kelly, an extra hitter here in this morning's ball game. Make that Graham Kenny, not Kelly. So Kenny, an extra hitter here in this ball game, and will hit leadoff. He hit leadoff yesterday as well. Speedy guy, if you get on base, can get around. And Jacqueline, the starting pitcher for the D-backs here this morning, 1-2 pitch, and gets him looking for strike 3. And it's a leadoff strikeout for Roman Jacqueline, who's trying to protect this lead that the D-backs have created in the top of the inning, showcasing the offensive talent they bring to this tournament. Here's Mason Downey, the starting pitcher this morning for the River Cats. Probably not the top of the inning he would have wanted. Going to look, we'll see if he returns for the top of the second inning, as that top of the order for the D-backs is just so strong. Can really hit for lots of power, location. We found a lot of gaps, and that's a dead ball as Mason Downey will get himself a base there, as I believe maybe kind of skim on him. And so a walk for Downey, and they'll have a runner on for Upper Ottawa Valley to work with. There's Colton Gardner, the third baseman here for the River Cats. With a runner on first, would love to advance him into a scoring position. Runner's going to go to second. The throw down, the tag. In time. No, it's not. Safe the call. As the umpire looked like he was going to show out, but then goes for the safe call, and it'll be a successful steal. A close call from Mason Downey at second. Really took a chance there with a steal. They had him. They definitely did. The throw was there in time, but second base umpire confirms the call safe. We can go back to the count here with Gardner. He'll foul this one off to stay alive. So 1-2 count with runner in scoring position. So Downey adjusting to the box. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Up the middle, over the shortstop and down. Runner from second's going to go to third. Downey getting the wave around. The play at the plate. It'll bounce over top of the catcher, and Downey will get home. And the River Cats find their first run of the ball game and make it 5-1. And Mason Downey not afraid to take a risk after he gets the wave around third, and the throw was there, but it took a hard bounce on the infield grass over top of him, and he was able to come around. So Gardner now at second, and Ben Robinson at the plate, the cleanup hitter. That pitch will get away from Robinson and also the catcher, and runner Gardner will get over to third. It's the 1-0 to Robinson. Up high and inside, and we'll see ball 2. Gardner takes a couple aggressive strides towards home plate, but will make his way back to third. So a chance to get another on the board here for the River Cats, who are trying to make up for the runs that they let in the top of the inning. Swing and a miss there from Robinson. He'll see strike 1. Behind the plate today for Ancaster, it's Gabe Hook. And that ball gets away from him. Here comes Gardner with the green light. Slide in there in time. And the River Cats make it 5-2. As they continue to rally, and there's now nobody on base here for Ben Robinson. Just some smart base running. And that's a smart way to make up some runs. We've seen that successful teams so far through day one just had such good mindsets on the base path. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3 on Ben Robinson, and there's 2 down.
Number 34,
So 1-2 count here for Reed Luhoff. And that's inside for ball 2. So a 2-2 count. Luhoff will step back up to the plate here. Got to protect and stay alive. Here's the pitch. And we'll get a piece of it and foul it back. And he'll stay at a pair of strikes. So Roman Jacqueline looking to get out of this inning. Only 2 runs against them. Here's the 2-2 pitch and fouled back once more.
Correction. Number 24, Jake Morris.
So we join you back here for the top of the second inning in Brockville after a couple of camera issues. After we had a couple foul balls get kind of fired back right towards the back fence, but we're all good up and running now and back underway. Leading things off, number 24, Jake Morris will try to continue the dominance of the offensively side of the ball that D-backs have put up so far in this ball game, and that is a strike swinging. Back at the mound for his second inning of work, Mason Downey looking, well, to probably have a better inning than it was for himself in the top of the first. A 2-1 count after that one rides away down in the dirt. Here's the 2-1. Takes a swing on one inside. It will foul it off as it gets on one on the top of the barrel, and we'll have a 2-2 count for strike 2 against Morris. And a chance here for Downey to find a strikeout. Only one out was found in the top of the first for the River Cats after the inning ended due to the 5-run limit rule. So any sort of outs the River Cats can get here is huge for their defense. That one's outside. Here's the full count pitch from Downey. Up to the shortstop and in the glove with a jumping effort. And close from Cohen Cloutier. And a beautiful grab for out number 1. And we'll move on in the order. Here's Gabe Hook. We'll have first pitch to Hook. He'll show bunt. We'll pull away, and we'll see ball one up high. So that is a huge first out there from the River Cats. We'll see if this can spark some momentum in the defense as they face the bottom of, well, approach the bottom of the order here. As the top of the order was just so electric from the D-backs. And that one's last pitch is fouled off, so we'll have a 1-1 count. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's strike two on the outside. The call. So Hook will take it looking, and now he's got a battle. A chance here for Mason Downey to find his first strikeout of the ball game. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's up high for a ball. So a 2-2 count after the first 4 pitches. But a good battle here from Gabe Hook, who's the catcher on the defensive side of the ball here this morning for Ancaster. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Inside for ball 3, and we'll have a full count here. Back-to-back full counts it is for Ancaster. Here's the payoff once more from Mason Downey. And strike 3 on the outside, the call. As Hook will take it looking, and there's 2 down. In the mound meeting, and I potentially could do it from Mason Downey as coach will come out to the mound here.
Can I get a count for number 28? Perfect, thank you.
And we'll see if that will do it for Downey or if they'll let him go, and that will do it. Mason Downey, the starter, goes an inning and 2/3 and is relieved on the game after letting in 5 runs. Finds a big first 2 outs, though, for 2 down. And we'll see who will be taking his spot at the hill. Looks to be number 6, Graham Kenny. So Graham Kenny comes to the mound as the reliever and started on the bench, so good option to come out here. So Kenny will start his warm-up and look to continue what Downey started here in the top of the 2nd inning as he looks to retire the side in order. It's Jagger Blake, the batter on deck here for Ancaster. As Blake will get his warm-up ready. Blake is playing left field here this morning. So Kenny will start his warm-up. Downey, 5 runs in an inning and 2/3. And so Mason Downey went 31 pitches, meaning 1 day rest after he's thrown 31. So he'll be available for the semifinals here on Monday. Won't be able to pitch tomorrow in the final day of round robin. And we are back underway with the reliever, Graham Kenny. First pitch to Blake will get a piece of the outside for strike 1, the call. And so Kenny with an opportunity here to finish things off from what Downey started and retire the side in order. Blake fires this one to right field, and it will get down in shallow right. And so Jagger Blake with a base hit gives the D-backs a runner to work with here in the top of the 2nd inning. So a runner at first, and here's Marcus Berlingeri to the plate. And a chance to advance runner to a scoring position. First pitch to Berlingeri will be one that dips down into the dirt, and we'll see ball 1. So now Kenny's got a runner to think about in the back of his mind that we're at first base with Blake. We'll see if we could see a potential steal of second after earlier took a couple aggressive steps down the base path. This one's fouled back from Berlingeri for strike 1. Here's the 1-1 from Kenny. And that one on the outside as well. We'll have ball 2. So a 2-1 count here for Berlin-Jerry, as after Berlin-Jerry will go back to the top of the order with Weston Heaney. So trying to keep the inning alive, or the top of the second is for Berlin-Jerry. Pops this one up in fair territory to first base, and in the glove of the first baseman, Mac Tripp, to end the top of the second inning. So no run score for the Ancaster DBacks as the Rivercats shut things down and keep us at a 5-2 ball game. When we return, it's the bottom of the second inning with the Upper Ottawa Valley Rivercats at the bats, looking, well, to claw their way back into this ball game when we return. Bottom of the second inning here in Brockville. So we'll join you back here for the bottom of the second inning here of the 2025 Minor Provincial Championship here in Brockville. Day 2 it is, game number 1. We'll have 4 games today. This one, a line drive to left field as it squeaks past Jagger Blake, the third baseman. And a leadoff base hit, but they got Cloutier in between first and second after he took a bit too many steps down the base path. Running back to first, and he'll get out of it. Cohen Cloutier thanking his lucky stars after he took a very big risk. A couple too many strides down the base path, but he's able to get out of it. Now aboard first base. And so we'll move on in the order. Here's Thomas Rosine. And so Rosine with a runner to work with now at first base. First pitch swinging, runner's going to go to second. The throw will not be on target, and a successful steal from Cloutier moves himself into a scoring position. And a swing and a miss from Rosine for a strike. And a quick 0-2 here. Down, and a chance for the starter back of the mound for his second inning of work, Roman Jacqueline. First strikeout. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And gets him going for strike 3. And so Jacqueline starts his bottom of the second off with the first out being a strikeout. And there's one down. So here's Mac Tripp, the first baseman, who made the final catch in the top of the second to end that top of the inning. First pitch to Tripp on the outside for ball 1 with the fastball from Jacqueline. That's ball 2 as well against Tripp. A quick 2-0 count going his way. And Jacqueline's now going to throw him something. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and he does throw him something down the middle with a heater for strike 1. Here's the 2-1 from Jacqueline. And we'll just miss on the outside, ball 3. And if we see one more, we'll put 2 runners on here. So Jacqueline's got to find the zone here. Here's a 3-1 pitch. And he won't be able to. Down low for ball 4. And Mac Tripp aboard with a walk. And there's a runner on first and second now for the River Cats. Looking to get a bit of a rally going, and tying run now at the plate. After they went down by 5, in which looked like it could have just the D-backs run away with this ball game. The River Cats have done a really good job since then containing this offense and getting their defense going. Here's Max Saucier, and here's the pitch inside for a ball. And a time will be called by the Diamondbacks coach, and he'll go have a word with, looks like just the pitcher, Roman Jacqueline, and that could be the end of the morning here and the outing for Jacqueline. We'll see what the final call would be, if it's just a talking to with the coach, just to get everybody on the same page and how to go about this with only 1 out and 2 runners on, trying to defend themselves a lead, and it will be Jacqueline remaining in the ball game. So a 2-0 count here before time was called. It will get resumed. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and swinging that one high up there in the zone. For strike 1 is Saucier. Max playing left field on the defensive side of the ball here for the River Cats here this morning. To 2-1. Shuffles away, and they'll throw down to third. That's a great block there from the catcher behind the plate, Gabe Hook. As you got to be careful, it's now with 2 runners on, you've already seen examples of it so far in this ball game from the River Cats, especially in the bottom of the first inning, where they're really aggressive at the base path, not afraid to take risks and steal bases. So Hook on his game, needing to get in front of balls and make sure nothing gets to the backstop. Here's the pitch to Saucier. And we'll take it looking for strike 3. And there's 2 down with a strikeout from Jacqueline. And so we'll move on in the order. Here's Wilfred Morton, trying to keep the inning alive now with 2 outs, and would love to at least cash in one of these runs that's on base, especially the one in scoring position with Cloutier. Hook doing a very good job getting in front of the ball, as we've seen Cloutier as an aggressive guy on the base path, and if anything gets past Hook, you got a feeling Cloutier is going to go, but so far has been rock solid behind the plate. The fastball will be a strike. Now Cloutier is going to go to third. The tag, not there in time. It's a tad late. And Cohen Cloutier with a successful steal, and Tripp will join him. So both runners move a bag. Now at third and second, both in scoring positions. And there's a strike against Morton. And Jacqueline now finds himself in a bit of a jam. Here's the pitch. Down the middle for strike 3, looking to end the inning. So Roman Jacqueline able to get himself out of a sticky situation after he found himself with 2 runners in scoring position. But will keep them stranded and keep this second inning scoreless after we end 5-2. So that will do it for the second inning. When we return at the top of the third, with the Ancaster DBacks back at the bats looking to extend their lead. You're watching the 2025 Minor Provincial Little League Ontario Championships here in Brockville. We'll join you back here for the top of the third inning between the Upper Ottawa Valley River Cats and the Ancaster DBacks. And so a scoreless second inning it was after the first inning ended 5-2. Pretty offensive. The second inning, the polar opposite. So we'll go back to the top of the order here for the D-backs to start the inning. It's Weston Heedy, the second baseman who had to let off things off with a base hit his first time up. That gets a piece at the top of the zone for a strike. So Graham Kenny came to this ball game in the second inning, now finds himself for his second inning of work back at the mound. Kenny will get a piece of it and foul it back for a strike. And Heaney, a very, very skilled player in the top of the order. This top of the order does great work for Ancaster. We saw yesterday, and we saw examples of it in the top of the first inning where they put up the 5-run limit rule. Full count here for Heaney, and we'll have a payoff from Graham Kenny. And ball 4 on the outside. It's a leadoff walk here for the D-backs, and they'll have a runner aboard now on first base. And so we'll move on in the order. Here's Jace Hall, the shortstop here in this game. Was the starting pitcher in yesterday's ball game after him and Heaney split the game in half for a win over the East Nepean Eagles. First pitch swinging for Hall, pops it up in foul territory and will get down for a strike. As the reaction time of the River Cats infield just not fast enough, as it was in playable territory, but unable to pop up in time and make the grab. We'll make our way back to the plate here to 0-1 count for Hall. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's inside. That one gets away from the catcher, and there goes Heaney to second base now. And he's going to go to third as well, trying to go from one corner to the next. The tag, not there in time. Weston Heaney turns on the Jets and gets himself to third base. And that's a way to steal a bag. How about 2 bags? That will base it away from getting back in the scoring category for Ancaster. Hall pulls this one just foul off the first base line. And so 2 strikes against Hall with 2 foul balls in the count. So Hall will step back up in a 1-2 count against him. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And Hall underneath it pops it up. The left fielder moving in, and that will drop down into no man's land in the gap between the infield and the outfield, as nobody will step up to make the grab, and Weston Heaney comes around and makes it 6-2 for the D-backs. So Roman Jacqueline will step up to the plate here. And so the D-backs get their offense back on the board here after being shut out in the top of the second inning. And Hall now at second base in a scoring position after that one dropped down. And here's Roman Jacqueline, the starting pitcher who pitched the first 2 innings for his second at-bat here in this game. Robinson having to move behind the plate. That's number 21, yes, Robinson behind the plate to make the grab. And contain that ball. Here's the pitch from Kenny. Jacqueline fires that one up the middle to center field. And Hall will get held. Now he'll go to home plate. Now he's thinking about his decision. They've got him between home plate and third, and they'll just let him go. Not the decision that the infield would have wanted, as they just give it off to Kenny at the mound, and Hall took the time that they gave him to come across home plate, and it's 7-2 for the D-backs. And we'll have a mound meeting here after that play happened, and coach just wants to make sure everybody's on the same page here about how to go about this. It's now a 5-run ball game here in the top of the third inning. And so they'll just trying to figure stuff out here. Runner at first after Jacqueline was able to get there, and Finley Ross will have the at-bat here in the cleanup spot. And so Ross will step up to the plate here, the center fielder. First pitch to Ross. Swinging pops up to center field, looking for it, and it will drop down and get past the center fielder. Here comes Jacqueline with the Jets. He'll turn around third. And Jacqueline will come across. And Finley Ross now to third after Jacqueline came spinning down after a bit of a collision there with the catcher, Ben Robinson. But nonetheless, a run will score for the D-backs, the third run of the inning, and make it 8-2. And Finley Ross now a base hit away from increasing that tally. So the D-backs showcasing the offense that they also put on display in the top of the first inning. So we see it back here in the top third. Here's Eli Green. First pitch down low for a ball, and you see some aggressive steps down the base path there from Finley Ross, who wouldn't doubt if we see him come home on any sort of opportunity if anything gets past the catcher. This one on the outside as well for another ball. So pardon me, behind the plate is not Ben Robinson. This is Colton Gardner. So Gardner moves from third base. There's just a little swap there between the two. Just a 2-0 pitch. And a swing and a miss there from Green as it was lobbed in there from Kenny. Able to get him swinging for strike one. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Gets a piece of it. The first baseman moving forward and slides and makes the grab. Mac Tripp moves into foul territory and able to hold on to that ball for out number one. And a nice play there from Tripp to find a huge out as they look to work their way back into this ball game, now down by 6, trying to deny the efforts from the D-backs to increase their lead. Here's Nolan Whalen at the plate. First pitch to Whalen on the outside for a ball. The 1-0 ground ball for Whalen to the second baseman. Hard bounce in the infield. And won't be able to make the play as it just took a hard bounce just on the edge of the grass there and ended up getting him up near the chest, maybe even the head area. Run will come around as Finley Ross scores to make it 9-2. But that one got to second baseman upstairs. I believe that's number 15. Make that number 28, Mason Downey. So the starting pitcher, Downey, who moved to second base, gets that one up there, but he'll be okay as he'll remain in the game after a quick checkup from his coach. And we'll get this ball game resumed here. Tommy Rice at the plate now with a runner at first after runner at third was batted home. That's ball one to Rice. Here's the 1-0 to Rice. Up high, ball two. And Kenny now got to battle his way back into this inning. The 5-run limit rule would come into effect if runner at first was able to get around and score. So Kenny got to worry about that runner. He's really the biggest factor here in this ball game, as there's no way for Tommy Rice to score. So all Rice is going to do is trying to advance the runner, realistically. And with 2 outs to work with, they could use an out here for a little sacrifice play potentially. We'll see how they go about this. This one pulled to left field from Rice, and we'll get there for a base hit. So runners at first and second now after the base hit from Tommy Rice. And here's Uzziah Hall at the plate. Hall with 2 runners on. Could potentially load the bases up here. And a swing and a miss as Hall will reach for it for strike 1. So Kenny will start to battle his way back into this inning here. Here's the 0-1 pitch. We'll hold off, but we'll take it looking as it gets on the outer half of the plate. And there's strike 2. And a chance here for Graham Kenny to find a strikeout. It would be the first strikeout of the top of the 3rd inning for Kenny himself. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And gets him swinging for strike 3. And a huge punch out from Graham Kenny. And there's 2 outs in the inning. So here's Jake Morris to the plate now with 2 runners on and trying to keep the top of the 3rd alive. 4 runs have scored for the D-backs here in the top 3rd, but would like to make it that nice 5 to end the inning on their own terms. First pitch swinging right on the end of the bat there will just spin into foul territory off the first base line. There's the 0-1. This one on the outside for ball 1. One from Kenny over top of Morris as Morris' second time through the order, as they've done it. Ancaster has gone through the order in pretty rapid time. So everybody getting their fair share of at-bats here. There's the 2-1 from Kenny. This one on the outer half of the plate gets away from Gardner, and both runners will advance a base now to 3rd and 2nd, both in a scoring position. And so the 5-run limit rule could come into effect with that run being accounted for at 3rd. This one gets past Gardner. Here he comes around, and safe and sound as he slides in there to make it 10-2. And that will do it for the top of the 3rd inning. And so the D-backs hit the 5-run limit rule for the 2nd time this ball game after they did it back in the top of the 1st inning. And so it's an 8-run ball game. And when we return for the bottom of the 3rd inning, it's the Upper Ottawa Valley River Cats now down by 8 and needing to get their offense going. You're watching the 2025 Minor Provincial Little League Ontario Championships here in Brockville. And so we'll join you back here for the bottom of the third inning. Here between the Upper Ottawa Valley River Cats and the Ancaster DBacks. The DBacks up by 6 here after they explode for more offense in the top of the inning. They put up 5 runs, and the River Cats could use an inning like that here themselves. Leading things off, Luke Goss, the center fielder. And we'll get that one inside by the hands. Play to the plate, to the mound, make that, and an easy play there for the new pitcher coming into this game, Nolan Whalen, and there's one down. And so we'll hit the bottom of the order here for the River Cats. Grayson O'Grady, the right fielder. He came in as a reliever in yesterday's ball game and did a very solid job. He ended up, I believe, pitching them to the win there. The nail biter we saw in a game that had a runtime of 2.5 hours through 6 innings of ball. And it was a 9-8 finisher over the Timmins Lynx. That's a strike on the outside. And a swing and a miss there from O'Grady for strike number 3. So Whalen looking to retire the side in order. We'll go back to the top of the order. Here's Graham Kenny. So Whalen finds himself a strikeout and a ground ball, having to do majority of the work here so far in this inning for Ancaster. Kenny will show bunt. It's square on the bat and will get a piece of it. So home plate umpire Mark Bradley will call dead ball, as I believe Kenny may have tried to just kick his way with that ball. And he'll have to go back to the plate here. We'll have an 0-1 count. Kenny shows bunt once more, pulls away, and strike 2 the call. Here's the 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss from Kenny for strike 3. And a beautiful inning pitch from Nolan Whalen as he comes in as a reliever. Strikeouts 2 and makes a play himself to first base. When we return, it's a 10-2 lead for the D-backs, and they'll look to extend their lead potentially. When we come back, you're watching the 2025 Minor Provincial Little League Ontario Championships here in Brockville. So we'll join you back here for the top of the 4th inning here in Brockville between the Ancaster DBacks and the Upper Ottawa Valley River Cats. Strike taken for the leadoff hitter here. In the top 4th, Gabe Hook, ball by Jagger Blake. and Marcus Berlin Jerry make that. The 3 that will get the go here. That ball through for a ball there on hook. New pitcher coming to the mound here after Kenny threw 32, so he'll have a 1 day's rest. Won't be available tomorrow, but could get the nod in the semifinals matchup. It's Mac Tripp at the mound here, taking over things for the River Cats. That's ball 2 over top of hook, and we'll have a 2-1 count. That one's inside as well, and I believe it got a piece of him, and it did. So Gabe Hook will get aboard now with a walk, and they'll have our leadoff runner to work with here for the D-backs. So we'll move on to the order. Here's Jagger Blake. Blake started in left field to start the game. Here's the first pitch. That will miss on the outside, and we'll have a 1-0 count. So Mac Tripp having to get into this game and to adjust here early. We'll see if he can do so. Trying to keep this game as close as possible as the difference is now 8. That's over top of Blake for ball 2. Here's the 2-0. That one's inside as well. And this is a 3-0 lead now for Blake, and a chance, if we saw a walk, would move Hook to a scoring position at second and get himself aboard at first. Tripp got a battle back. Here's the 3-0 pitch. And we'll get the automatic strike as he finds one back. Here's the 3-1. And Blake on the end of it will strike it to right field. And so a base hit for Jagger Blake will move runner Gabe Hook now to second base. And we'll see bottom of the order, Marcus Berlin Jerry at the plate. So Berlin Jerry trying to continue the offense here for the D-backs. They'll show bunt. But we'll see a strike against him, and that actually will be held by the catcher, Colton Gardner, for an out. As Berlin Jerry tried to bunt, but gets a piece of it, and Gardner fast reaction time, and that's 1 down. And that's a huge out there as we go back to the top of the order. Here's Weston Heaney. First pitch swinging, pops it up in the infield, and the first baseman able to make the catch. And there's 2 down. And just like that, a flip of a switch, this top of the 4th inning has kind of flipped on its head. With 2 back-to-back quick outs, and here's Jace Hall trying to keep the top of the 4th alive. And so if the River Cats are trying to spark something, this is the way to do it, find 2 quick outs and trying to create some momentum. Here's the first pitch to Hall, and he'll pull that one just foul off the first baseline. Hall not afraid to swing. He's very aggressive at the plate, and when he finds contact, especially square on the barrel, can really bring some power. Here's the 0-1. And gets a piece of it. And I think strike 2 for a foul tip after he just got a piece of it. And the catcher wanted to be out number 3, but he'll have to stay at the plate. Still a chance, though, for Tripp to end it. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And that will get Hall on the front foot for a walk. Unfortunate there for Tripp. Had him in a perfect situation, 2 strikes down, but will walk him and will get the bases loaded here for Roman Jacqueline. Jacqueline pops up in foul territory, and a couple infielders go for it, but nobody will be able to get there in time. And we'll start off with a strike here for Jacqueline after the foul ball. So the D-backs trying to just make their cushion a little bit more comfortable and just kind of ride out the game, but the River Cats not giving out here. Popped up from Jacqueline. The second baseman will call everybody off and make the grab, as getting underneath of it was Mason Downey. And that will do it for the top of the fourth inning. The bases are left stranded after it looked like the D-backs were going to add to their offense, but the Upper Ottawa Valley River Cats will keep us at an 8-run game, and we'll head to the bottom of the fourth inning, where the River Cats have an opportunity to get their offense back going as we approach the latter half of this ball game. If they want a chance back in it, they'll have to get their bats hot. When we return, it's the bottom fourth here in Brockville. So we'll join you back here for the bottom of the fourth inning between the River Cats and the D-backs. Leading things off as we'll be at around the top of the order here for the River Cats. It's Mason Downey. He'll be followed up by Colton Gardner and Ben Robinson, the three. That will get the go. High chopper to third, scoops cross diamond in time for out number one. So a quick one down there after a very nice play by the third baseman, Tommy Rice. That's first pitch swinging as well for Gardner. And the scoop initially from the first baseman looked like it could be successful after he was able to get his glove in front of that bouncing ball. But he won't be able to corral it. So Gardner will get aboard here on first base. And some aggressive at-bats here from the River Cats if they went first pitch swinging on the first two pitches. And here's Ben Robinson, the cleanup hitter. He'll go first pitch swinging up the middle. Heaney, the 1-2, and he'll get the tag with runner going to second for out number two. And there's two away quickly here from the D-backs. So here's Reed Luloff, and he'll trying to keep this inning alive now with a quick 2 outs. Only 3 pitches needed so far from Nolan Whalen. He's been very, very efficient here. Here's the fourth pitch of the inning, up high for Ben Robinson. We'll have the first at-bat here in this inning where a batter didn't go more than one pitch. It's the 1-0 to Luloff, who'll go swinging for a strike. The 1-1. And that will get Luloff right in the back for a walk, and we'll have runners at first and second. Here's Cohen Cloutier to the plate, and he'll have 2 runners to work with at first and second base. First pitch will paint the inside for strike 1. And so Whalen now trying to work his way out of the situation he's found himself in with a couple runners on. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball from Cloutier. In and out of the glove of the third baseman all the way to left field. And the bases are loaded here for the River Cats. Quite the ideal situation that they find themselves in. And here's Thomas Rosine at the plate. Chance to really get his team potentially back in this ball game. And he'll foul it off the first pitch. So we'll join you back here for the bottom of the 4th inning here in Brockville after we had, or make that the top of the 5th inning as we enter the final 2 innings of play here in Brockville. Back at the mound for his 2nd inning of work, it's Mac Tripp, and leading things off, it's the cleanup hitter for Ancaster, Finley Ross. That pitch on the outside for a ball. Make that ball 2, so bases left stranded in the bottom 4th after the River Cats had a prime opportunity to try to claw their way back into this ball game, but still find themselves down by 8. 2-0 pitch over top of the head of Ross, and we'll have a full lead for Ross here, 3-0. So Tripp's got to find the strike zone here and start his battle back. Here's the 3-0 pitch. It's over top of Ross, and we'll have a 4-pitch walk for the leadoff batter and a runner on. So we'll move on in the order. Here is Eli Green to the plate. He's playing second base, or started in second base here this morning. First pitch to Green will kind of stumble away from the plate there after that one was inside on him. Kind of like sprung up there as he initially kind of bent his knees down, and we'll see ball 2 on that one. So Tripp unable to find the strike zone so far through his first 6 pitches. Has got to be able to battle back here and find a way. Gets a piece of it and fires it right up the alley. That's going to get all the way back to the back fence. And here comes the runners. Green turning on the Jets and will get held up at third base. And around comes Finley Ross, and it's an RBI triple for Eli Green. As that one maybe didn't have a crazy amount of power or height on it, but oh boy, it was perfectly placed in between right field and center field, right up the alley. And a miscommunication potentially by the two outfielders as nobody really started sprinting right away. And so Green now a base hit away from making a 10-run ball game. Here's Nolan Whalen at the plate. And that's outside for a ball. Whalen a 1-1 count after he fouled back the first pitch. Here's the 1-1. That's lobbed up there as well for ball 2. And again, another one that's just over top of the zone here. Tripp has got to adjust, as he can't afford to keep walking batters here after we saw the leadoff walk. And then Eli Green had a count where he was up in it with balls and then was able to get one contact. This one hit right up the alley as well, as this one splits the left and center fielder, and it will get all the way to the fence. Here comes Whalen. He'll get to third and be held up, and how about back-to-back RBI triples from the Ancaster DBacks, and it's 12-2. And time will be called, and we'll just have a little infield meeting here as the catcher, Colton Gardner, will want to have a word with Matt Tripp in his infield about how to go about this. So 2-run score already for the D-backs, and runner over at third trying to make it a 3-run inning for themselves. No outs found so far from the River Cats. Just got to get one to try to get the ball rolling. Rice pulls one down the left field line and will just get in foul territory. We'll see a strike due to it. And we'll get back underway. Here's the 0-1. And Rice will also get a piece of that. And foul it back. We'll have 0-2 count. And a swing and a miss from Rice for strike 3. And Mac Tripp able to find the first out of the inning, and there's one down. And so we'll move on in the order. Here's Uzziah Hall. First pitch to Hall. Will have to hit the deck to get away from it. And we'll see a ball. Well, it's over top of the zone for ball 2. So Hall getting a quick lead here in this count. We'll see if Tripp can adjust. There's the 2-0 pitch. That's ball 3 as well. So a 3-0 lead here for Hall. And a chance to put runners in the corners if we see one more come through. .30 pitch down the middle for strike 1. So Tripp will start his battle back into this count. Here's the 3-1 pitch. This one fired up the middle from Hall and will get down for a base hit. As around comes Whalen, and it's 13-2. So Jake Morris up to the bats now, runner over at first after a base hit. First pitch swinging up the middle, Tripp in front of it, play to first in time for out number 2. And there's 2 down there and a runner at second. So Gabe Hook will have an at-bat here. And trying to keep the top of the 5th alive now after a quick 2 outs here from the River Cats to attempt to try to end it and send themselves back to the bats. First pitch fouled off to his own dugout from Hook. The 0-1 up the baseline for a fair ball, and that will do it. After the first baseman makes a nice play to keep it fair, that's Reed Luloff to end the inning. When we come back, it's the bottom of the 5th, and the River Cats, well, they need to get the offense going. They're down by 11. We'll see if they can make something happen when we return. So we'll join you back here for the bottom of the 5th inning here in Brockville. Max Saucier at the plate after a quick out number 1 after a ground ball from Mac Tripp. And a swing and a miss from Saucier for a strike number 1. And we'll have a 1-1 count here. Back at the mound for another inning of work is Whalen. Has pitched very successfully so far, and now all the River Cats in a situation where they gotta find some runs. We could see the 10-run mercy rule come into effect here. If they don't, I believe the amount of runs needed is 2 to get out of it. That's strike 2 on the inside, the call. Associate will take a looking, and now he's got to protect. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Underneath, it pops it up and will get down in shallow center field for a base hit.
Number 45, Wilfred Morton.
And so we'll see out number 2 after a ground ball and another play to first. And the Diamondbacks down to their final out here. First pitch to Goss up the middle in the glove of Whalen. Play to first in time. And that's the ball game. The Ancaster DBacks continue their dominant showcasing here in Brockville with back-to-back wins. They stay perfect, 2-0 in the tournament. Upper Ottawa Valley suffer their first loss after a win yesterday in a nail-biting walk-off finisher. They'll be 1-1 through the first 2 days. Both these teams will see them tomorrow in the final day of round robin here in Brockville. We'll have 3 more games today here on the Brockville Little League YouTube channel. Remember, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the 2025 Minor Provincial Little League Ontario Championship. I've been Jacob Ewing. This one finishes in the 10-run Mercy Rule, 13-2, the final score. The Ancaster Diamondbacks remain perfect. We'll be back at 11:30, about an hour's time, for our next game of the day. Thank you for watching.